and welcome back to the Dodgers Port, and today we're going to take a look at what you can do if the enemy team get themselves organised and all decide to rush your cap circle at once, and then all decide to target you because you're the one person defending that cap circle. It's certainly interesting and it certainly puts the blood pressure up, so without further ado let's jump into that battle. I'll see you there. So here we are back in a teeny tiny Tier 2 Weymouth, UK Tier 2 cruiser. Back in this just because I needed it for a mission. Tend not to play Tier 2 ships very often anymore, but here we are, and it's very useful for people who are just starting the game and might be playing Tier 2 ships for the very first time. The Weymouth, good solid ship, no torpedoes, no high explosives, but very good armour piercing shells and a really good heal and a really good speed. Lots of really goods in there. Now it does have one downside with the a high explosive, which is that it's pretty poor against battleships. It's not really got anything to do to them. Thankfully no battleships in this, but also at really close range it's pretty poor against destroyers as well, because you just tend to over penetrate them and they've got no citadels that you can do anything with, so you definitely don't want to get too close to destroyers. So here we are, my favourite kind of battle, which is the capture the flag. So what I'm going to do is, what I would normally do is sit relatively deep in my own cap zone and pick them off as they come in one at a time. Slight problem with that in this battle though. The enemy destroyers we can see are already out on the wings, which means all of the cruisers, which look like they're all heading centrally, are going to arrive at a very similar time. That makes it really difficult to pick them off one at a time. So I'm kind of hoping that my fellow teammates are going to spot that as well and stick near the middle so we can really focus them down. One destroyer does make the mistake of coming in alone, and that's what he gets for it. I can see I'm being targeted by 2 people. That number is going to go up and up. So I'm already starting to have a few worries about the way this battle is likely to go, because if I'm looking at the minimap, and I always am, I can see that all of their cruisers now, pretty much, are heading straight for the centre, straight for our cap zone. Whereas we've got 2 cruisers way out on the left in E1, we've got one guy who's heading out way east on E9, not sure what he's doing all the way out there, which is going to leave us 3 cruisers short. So all I can do at the moment is start by trying to pick off a few and hope that the cruisers that are with me give me a lot of support. Still looking at the minimap, and now you can see I've now got a destroyer who looked like he was going out wide. He's now coming in right into the cap zone, and in fact both enemy destroyers are coming in. They've really pincered here. All the cruisers are coming straight through the middle and the destroyers are coming right around the edge. This is a very deliberate, concerted attack on our cap zone, and I am massively outnumbered and massively outgunned, so I have to make some really quick decisions here. Ideally I'd like to sink this destroyer, because if he gets much closer I'm going to stop doing any damage, I'm going to overpen, and in fact that is exactly what I'm currently doing. So he's got close enough to me now that he's almost counterfeited my guns. I've got 3 ships now targeting me, and you can see 3 cruisers pouring through the middle. This guy in front of me, who's not going to last much longer if he keeps sailing at that angle. And then 2 destroyers, one either side, and another cruiser, and oh my gosh, there are an awful lot of ships around. If you look at our cap zone, it's a big red wall at the moment, and that does mean that if they start capping, they're going to cap really quickly. Well, that's one taken care of. Clearly now the enemy team have decided I'm the one that's going to cause them the problems, because I'm the only one now really defending our cap zone, and 3 of them are targeting me. So how do we deal with this if the whole universe seems to be conspiring to target you? Well, keep turning. Don't give anybody a nice easy target, don't give anybody a consistent target. If you watch the map on the bottom left of the screen, which shows the angle that my ships are at, you'll see that I'm always turning. I can do that on this ship because it has guns port and starboard, so I can keep having guns firing. Again, the problem I've got here is this destroyer is just too close to me. And I can't open up a distance because he's faster than I am. It's just a very well organised attack on the cap zone. And they're capping quite comfortably, but so are we. It looks like my team have all decided that what they want to do is cap, so I guess my tactic here has to be simply stop them capping for long enough for us to cap. But the whole universe is firing at me. 3 ships targeting me again, torpedoes inbound. What I would say is, in circumstances like this, don't panic. Keep calm. Pick a target. I've already decided that I really want to sink this destroyer first, and that's what I'm going to do. Now I have to turn back to our own zone, because at some point I'm going to have to stop them capping. And what they're doing is some of them are now chasing me down, and that's a mistake. They should really just stay in the cap zone and hope that they can cap before we can. Now the one between the 2 cap zones, the enemy ship, he's resetting our cap, and so that's frustrating. Ooh, torpedoes, another destroyer, nice up close and personal. Too close. Now that's the 4th ship I've sunk, and that's absolutely through a spirit of self-preservation and necessity. Look at this, 4 ships still targeting me. There are only 6 ships? 6 ships out there, and 4 of them have decided that I'm the one they want to sink. So again, moving, constantly turning, constantly changing where I'm pointing, so that a lot of shells are landing where I would have been, but not where I am. There's the Confederate. 1 ship away from a Kraken. Just concerned that I'm being pushed out wide here. I'm going to have to get back to defend our cap zone. But that's tough to do when I've got ships absolutely everywhere pointing guns at me. So I make a decision at this point. I have to start shooting ships inside the cap circle. Not going to help particularly if I'm overpenning, however. Oh look, ships aiming at me, 2 of them. If you can hear any strange noise in the background, I apologise. We are currently having a thunderstorm where I live, and I can even hear it with my headset on. So, 77 shells I've managed to hit enemy ships with so far. And again, through absolute necessity. It's been a case all battle of, if I don't sink them, I'm going to get sunk myself. Now thankfully some support has now arrived, and if you look at the map now, and that was my 6th kill, we just need to sink 1 more ship now to win the battle, and we'll win it on points because they will lose another 50 points. And I believe that their ship in the centre of the map is in real trouble. They're still capping though, and they're still firing at me. Just 1 more ship required. And there it is. The guy in the middle did get sunk. And despite them doing a full-on, quite well-organised Zerg, we were able to prevent them capping. Well, there certainly weren't many dull moments in that battle from my point of view. I seemed to spend the entire battle firing, and more annoyingly, being fired at. But, as I said during the battle, if you can keep calm, and just pick 1 ship at a time and stick to your plan, it is possible with some help to blunt an enemy Zerg on your cap zone. It can be a very effective tactic to do that, but you do leave yourself wide open. If 1 or 2 people decide to really hard defend, then you can get capped behind in your own cap circle. Well, I hope you enjoyed that battle because I certainly enjoyed playing it, even though it was extremely fraught in places. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.